But they've actually only won 3 of their last 9 in the Premiership on home turf. Something that has been concerning the likes of Paul Gustard and indeed Mike Brown. Last week, second best to Worcester. Despite the lion's share of possession and territory, I think even with the big names in their ranks, another performance like that, Exeter will surely make sure that they pay for it. Ian Tempest, referee tonight. So a crisp, dry winter's evening, lots of quality performers on display, and arguably there mightn't be a better time for Harlequins to knock over the Premiership leaders. Internationals rested, they're the ones on home turf. Great opportunity tonight, you feel, for Paul Gustard's men. Clinging on to their position in the top 6 at the moment, eager to convince all parties that they're good value for that. James Lang. First touch for Joe Simmons. Taken in by Lang, preferred to Marcus Smith this week. Nice little dart from Brown, making it important meters. Marler tucks and goes. Quick ball for Kerr. Lang, it'll show, he's off. This is Don Brandt. Try on his Premiership debut here a couple of weeks back. Sinclair starring across the road last weekend. Kerr. Here's Ibitoye. A little high in the tackle. There's the advantage for Harlequins as a result.
Yeah, good start from Quins. Carl Sinclair in there makes a difference, doesn't he? Players start to drift off, worried about Sinclair's carrying ability. Just stamped out on the outside.
Punched, well, not exactly into the corner. Probably could have done with a little more distance there, but nevertheless inside the 22.
Yeah. These are important moments for Harlequins, and we're saying only a minute and 23 seconds into it. You get limited possession against Exeter, so what you do with it is all important.
The short line is run by Saili. Excellent start from the home team, full of purpose, full of running and dynamism on the game line significantly. Marler again. Kerr whips it away. Driven on by Merrick. Marchant. Try last week at 6 ways. Sinclair once more.
You can see the urgency of the clearers to the ball. We're speaking about the threat of Exeter over the ball, and you can see that's Glynn getting over it. They're not waiting for anyone to get over the ball, slow it down, to get that ball on a plate for Danny Kerr to get away.
It's one of the issues they had with the Worcester game, wasn't it? Just making sure the ball was fast enough. Lang is fighting hard to drive his way up towards the 5-metre line. Kerr is not taking care of their own possession there, and the Chiefs have the ball.
Mike Brown not happy.
Mike, not for me. Ball's clearly out.
But the ball was out. Danny Kerr rolled it back towards himself before playing it. Just interesting to see, though, a little bit of creativity from Harlequins, trying to create opportunities for Ibitoye. Just watch Danny Kerr here. He's going to dart from the base without the ball and leave it for the winger. Try and take that guard defence away. They're alert to it this early in the game. But a really nice attempt to keep the big boys guessing about Danny Kerr's threat around the base and open up an opportunity for that man.
First Premiership start tonight for Gabriel Ibitoye, star of the England under-20s, certainly in the Junior World Championship of 2017.
Okay, so we need to have clear space. Okay, just make sure we're not slapping as well. Clear space, please.
Both of them just need to wait for the bind call tempo.
Wait for the bind as well. Okay.
First scrum of the game. What are we picking out of this little lot, Ben?
It's been a great scrum for Exeter, obviously missing 4 of their top line props over the autumn period. hasn't hampered them too much, has it?
A free kick here at the first engagement.
Ball's not in. Ball's not in. So Dave, arms down, away we go.
A little over-eager Harlequins, Dave Ward arguing the toss. They've had a great deal of success, actually, forcing scrum penalties, Harlequins. Well drilled by Adam Jones, but Chiefs this time able to relieve the pressure.
Well, they're just the frustrating things, aren't they? They're in their 22 not so long ago, turnover, then you give a free kick, and then you're trying to then wrestle back momentum 60 yards from Exeter's try line.
Taken up by Dombrandt, met with force. Chiefs, who were stretched last week by the Gloucester attack. They got in the face of Danny Cipriani and came out fairly comfortable winners in the end, but defence was right at the forefront of that, and they've been tested in these early moments. Picked up by Simmons. Witten sends it on its way, and Hill can't gather it in. So Quins are somewhere near where they would like to be once more.
Go on about the effective defence, and at first glance that doesn't look like anything, but the line speed early on created just that little bit of panic in Exeter for them to shift it on a little bit quicker than they might have wanted to do, and that's where you get the inaccuracy in the passing. Just look at that hit there on Mitch Lees. He's up in his face, they're whizzing it through. Yes, it's a bit of inaccuracy out there, but if you're standing off a team, they've got time to look up. They're not worried about where you're coming from.
It's very much the Gustard blueprint, isn't it?
Bye. No. Set.
Evidence
White.
of Quinn's success at scrum time, and they've got the penalty here.
Elbow down into ground.
One collapse in the scrum. Number one, elbow down, collapse.
That's Murray Lowe,
Post call.
filling that loose head shirt in the absence of Ben Moon and Alec Hepburn.
Okay. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Ad.
See the fold in the middle. Sinclair in a good body position.
Hasn't started a Premiership game for a while now, Murray Lowe, and Kyle Sinclair making a good early impression, as James Lang will hope to do now. Entrusted with kicking duties. Decent return so far. And an early settler for Lang and Quins. Good start, Hugo.
It's a good start, but this is not uncommon from Exeter Chiefs. Every single game this season, Exeter Chiefs have always been the second team to score. For whatever reason, whether it be off the boot or from a try, always first to concede.
Where'd you find that stuff?
Just homework, Ben. Homework, you know what it is.
I'd just like to credit John Kingston.
Damn you.
Busted so early. Nathan Earl gathering it in. O'Flaherty is there with the chase. Another one making a rare Premiership appearance. First start for Tom O'Flaherty on the right wing for Chiefs tonight. Kerr whips along through the hands of Sinclair. They've opened up a little bit of space. Gaining quite a reputation, Kyle Sinclair, as a distributor. Goes back to his school days where he was playing at 10, which is a slightly frightening prospect.
Stick him in there now.
Well, the bar has been set, hasn't it, as Kerr clears. I mean, look at the arguably the best tight head in the world in Tyke Furlong. You could play him at 10 and not blink too much.
I'm not sure you'd want Lang in the front row, though, would you?
The thing is, Sinclair would actually back himself with laugh as well.
He was brilliant last week. Not only taking care of business at the set piece, but popping up everywhere in the loose. Brilliant link man, really settling into that tight head shirt with Eddie Jones, and becoming a more senior operator here too, of course. This is O'Flaherty, released up the middle. Ewers, Kvesic, bouncing and having a second bite at the cherry. Whipped away by White. Mitch Lees on the charge, missed a good deal of the early season. Yendall shut down very, very quick. Strong work from George Merrick. The ball is dislodged. Quins getting reward for their hard press, but it's gone forwards, has it?
Backwards by White and knock
You
on
can
by
hear the
man on
excitement in the Harlequins
Knocked it on,
team
yeah, really.
after that Merrick hit.
4 knock on.
They're trying to generate that team philosophy that they celebrate every little shot.
Fellas.
Picks him out of the line. It's a good shot. Be a bit careful with where his head goes.
Yep, as ever.
Okay, that's fine. We'll get ready.
The dipping opponent probably not helping him, but it was the handling from Quins that let them down subsequently. The Chiefs have possession, having absorbed an awful lot already. 27 tackles made by the Exeter Chiefs as we get a shot of Steve Borthwick and Neil Hatley, part of the England coaching setup.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Going for the penalty, the Chiefs trying to force it with that drive.
Quins.
And they get it. That's exactly what we were talking about before the game. Owning the middle of the field and then giving themselves opportunity to kick down into the red zone.
That's pretty standard Chiefs fare, isn't it? From that field position, and now the pressure.
What a kick.
From the kick, a magnificent kick.
Bang on the 5-metre line.
Please, fellas.
Makes such a difference. Just those 3-4 metres further out and it becomes much easier to defend. Now you can't afford to make one mistake defensively.
Pressure back on Harlequins. White to Hill, and he's within 4 metres. A really strong run from Sam Hill. The ball has been dislodged.
I think he's offside.
Side
though.
entry, a penalty advantage.
Chiefs with that advantage. Armand to within 5. White leaves it hanging. It's dropped in front of Simmons, and they'll come back for that offence.
Yeah, went off the top, everyone expecting the drive. We've seen a bit of variation over the last couple of weeks. We saw them go around the front of the line out with a peel.
I guess the thing is, Ben, it doesn't actually affect what they're trying to do once they get 5 metres away. So whether it's from a drive and more, they go off the top, you know they're going into that hard pick-and-go game. And this now, penalty, and you know you give away penalty after penalty, you then start forcing the referee to get involved in the game.
It's also something that we used to see when Steve Borthwick was at Saracens, them doing quite a lot, varying it so that you keep the opposition honest. They can't just dive in. They're now worrying about what else they might do. They just hang off for a fraction of a second, maybe allow you to get set up. Penalty coming for early before the players land.
Kovacic it was who claimed it. Quins have transgressed, so that's a couple of penalties now given up. 5 metres out from the try line.
Exactly the same as the front tempo,
Okay.
number 3.
I've got 2 players early on both lifters. You're on the line out. Line out's called. From the line out,
Explanation
the
from
penalty,
Ian
they can have the
Tempest.
line
No
out.
doubt about the option chosen here by Exeter.
Well, this is what you're talking about, Ben.
Simon,
It's that
fellas, please.
nervousness
Let
of,
them
are they
land.
going off the top? Are they coming in
Don't
with
take
their
the lift,
drive?
it's
That
foul play.
reputation is making Harlequins jumpy, going early, and they're not just inviting Exeter into the game, just said it, but inviting in
But
Tempest.
now also, not only does it put pressure on the Harlequins boys, it puts the pressure on the referee. He's going to start thinking, well, these are totting up. Do I need to start looking at a yellow card?
Ball.
Dave Dennis this time with the supply line. It looks well set, this drive from Exeter. Can anybody stop them? Can Quins stop them? Exeter have their score. Relentless from that range.
Good position, lad. Good work, mate.
It's a brilliant drive. There's one bit in there that they get absolutely right. They start to roll in field, but instead of carrying on in field, they then straighten up as soon as they lose the defenders, which means there's no one there. Had they gone on the same angle, Harlequins would have been able to get more players. Just watch this. Drive straight. Now they move in towards the posts, but as soon as they go round, they straighten back up again. Go through the area that they've just come from. Almost get stuck, but they've got the wherewithal just to wrestle it over the line.
They've asked the same question.
That's
mate.
the
I haven't
point.
seen it.
Just
Only one
there where
applies
they
over
straighten
there,
back up, lose all those Harlequins players behind them. Look, Joe Marler, Dave Ward, all absolutely useless once it turns. And they don't keep going towards those multicoloured shirts, they straighten up to the space.
Matt Kvesic with the try, and the broad smile nicely settled down in Devon now, feeling a proper part of this project. It's directly off the upright this time around, so 5 points to 3. Exeter leading.
We're speaking about it before the game, weren't we, in terms of discipline? It wasn't ill discipline, it was a decent scrum from Exeter. I'm having a look at their carrying stats. We're 14 and a half minutes into this game. Exeter have only carried the ball
guys,
8
he's
times.
going to need a new shirt. Too much
And
blood
they've
on
got
the
to
shirt.
try.
He's going to need a new
So
shirt.
that just goes to show you the kind of weapon that their driving maul is.
Something tells me we have a blood injury.
Just give him a second, I'll do the same to
So
you guys.
Ollie
as well.
Devoto.
You don't want to run into that. Danny, I'll do the same
I
to
just
you,
reckon
mate.
he won't
You don't
take
wanna
his
run
top
into the
off,
blood,
Ali.
do you? So- No, I agree with you.
You'd know all about that, Oogs, I think.
He's not doing it deliberately, though, is he?
Only when it's for charity.
I thought Devoto
Cheers,
might be
mate.
making a brief
Time on.
appearance, but the shirt was the only concern, so Hill is restored.
Don't know why you've got to commentate with your top off, Oogs, to be honest.
It's entirely unnecessary. Gratuitous. Looked like it might have just come off the outside of the boot of Dolman. And a chance now for Mike Brown again to have a little dart. Still getting used to the side of Mike Brown with any hair at all. Lovely offload here from Soili to Ibitoye, kept alive, and the touch is fair and the flag is raised.
John Kingston comparing him before the game to Sonny Bill Williams, and you can see why here. Just look at the footwork to create the offload opportunity between two players. He knows exactly what he's going to do. Delivers a really good pass, and it's only the reactions of Nick White that puts Ibitoye into touch.
Dave. Use it!
Protection for White. It's come forwards off Ibitoye. White again fires it on its way. Has he got the bounce? No, it's out on the full.
No advantage. Knock on.
And we're coming back for a knock-on.
It's correct, he has kicked it. He's always under pressure, and it's gone straight to touch. Scrum.
Again, that's just that consistency, isn't it? Captain James Chisholm just saying, well, he's kicked it. Because in some games this year, we have seen players, as soon as they kicked it away, the referee calls advantage over.
Scrum. Okay, thank you. Crouch!
A couple of penalties and a free kick from the 3 scrums so far.
Set! Nick, there's the ball.
We're going to see it out of the base this time, and Simmons takes some treatment as he offloads. This is Cuthbert.
Clear release.
Penalty Exeter.
No clear release.
A narrow one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The Harlequins again trying to put pressure on the Chiefs because they understand that Matt Kvesic hasn't played a lot of number 8. Just watch, he's a little bit ponderous off the base here. Watch Danny Kerr, the speed that he comes off, realises you've got an inexperienced 8 and he's trying to attack his opposite number. Get into Matt Kvesic.
But Ben, we were talking about all the intercepts that Harlequins scoring 50, 60 metres out. It's the halfway line which is killing them already. A couple of penalties and 2 big exit into the 22.
Storming run here from Cuthbert. Lovely line and great power. White is there, pops it on its way. This is Ewers barrelling forwards.
No hands!
Chiefs
Behind
have
the
not
line.
created an awful lot, but they've got very close on 2 separate occasions. They've come up with 1 try and now 1 knock-on.
They'll be fuming with that, the Chiefs, because they created the opportunity. They don't miss many when they get into this area. Right exactly where they want to be, just in and around the post, the hardest place to defend when you're on your own line.
We've got scrum, knock on. Quince ball.
But Cuthbert, superb through the middle. Again, that line-out ball goes off the top. and then a step back inside, attracts 3-4 defenders.
Okay, fellas, let's
And
go.
now they've got their biggest runners running off that carry.
Different sort of option, Alex Cuthbert, to the normal fare from the Chiefs wingers,
Time off.
offering that size and bulk,
Okay, no, fellas.
launch up the middle.
We need to work hard on the
5-10 metres out, he's another back row, isn't he? You know, that's where he can add real value in those tight exchanges. You see how well he was able to stay up on his feet. I mean, we know what deadly finisher he is, but he did pretty good job of trying to set up the rest of his back rows, who unfortunately weren't able to convert.
Bind! Stand on my toe. Here we go. Come on, fellas. We almost held our weight, okay? We spoke about this yesterday. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Great security from Quins on their scrum ball, and immediately some adventure as well. Saili wrestling with Witten,
That's fine, back man.
taken by Brown. Nice little inside ball, the tip on for Clifford.
It's been brought in.
Care, plenty of height, certainly contestable, but Dolman has control of it. Dennis Simmons spotted half a gap, but he's been clobbered by Marler. Really good tackle from the loose head. This is O'Flaherty trying to create something, swallowed up by a combination of Merrick and Clifford. White to nobody in particular, it's loose. Earl has it, playing with an advantage. Kerr, Marler.
No. Second man.
Lang, lying deep.
Advantage over.
Witten's done well, covered quite a lot of
Put him
ground.
on, White. Don't go.
Probably not his best kick of all time. It's landed with care.
All onside.
Lang again, sizing up the options. Oof. Running into Ewers.
Release now. Tackle.
Really advisable. Sinclair. Oh, we were just talking how brilliant his hands were, and there's an opportunity here off the back of that slack bit of work in the midfield from Quins. Exeter looking to feed off the scraps.
The referee's right, absolutely right. It's
Clearly around the player's
a
neck
neck
and
clear
defence.
out. Doesn't actually roll him, but he's got his arm around Mike Brown's neck, who's done wonderfully well to get his hands on the ball. He's feeling the pain from it.
Time
Mike
off, please,
Brown's
man down.
value in defence
Time off.
is unbelievable. That's a try-saving tackle. He didn't actually affect the tackle, but what Mike Brown does better than anyone is stay in the fight. Look at him. He's trying to get his hands on the ball. He's got his hands on Cuthbert. He just wants to stay in there. And that penalty is not awarded. It is a neck roll, but he brings out that technical penalty just because he's willing to stay in the fight. And that security of the back, I tell you what, it just gives so much confidence to the rest of the back line.
Time's off.
Just earlier on, I think Paul Gustave would have been
It's off,
really
it can
happy
be
with
off.
Saracens, Harlequins. It looks like Saracens because they're closing on the outside and they're forcing people back into where your big forwards is. Very reminiscent of Saracens in Paul Gustave's day, but preventing teams playing where they want to, going high in the outside centre channel and panicking the 10 when he looks up, having been looking back at his scrum half. Suddenly he sees a lot of heat out there. He panics and steps back inside.
And Brown's intervention has allowed for a relieving kick.
I guess the only thing you could have said about Brown was whether he had a clear release after making the tackle. He competed hard. They get away with it, you make your own luck.
It looked as if Jules Merrick had the line-out ball. This is Ibitoye. Saili taken by Simmons, hurtling at high speed towards his own try line. Dolman. Well, that was adjudged to have gone backwards by Ian Tempest. Dennis. White. Hill. 3 men to the right, but yet again that hard press from Quins, shutting down the options.
2 brilliant carries from Exeter players. First Cuthbert, then Hill under pressure, but still winning collisions.
Simmons. Witten. Picked up by Cuthbert, spread wide for Dolman. Clifford with the tackle. Little pop from Kvesic. And again, up comes the umbrella of the Harlequins' defence. Most phases that the Chiefs have been through, not a great deal of purchase just yet across the game line.
The floor, release.
Simmons, and again that very, very strong defensive work from Paul Gastard's men rewards them with possession.
That's a very good defensive set for Harlequins. Not only did they not give up any meterage, they kept their discipline and they won the ball back. We spoke about it before the game. Defence isn't there to... It's not a tackling drill. You want to win the ball back as quick as possible.
There you go. To amplify that, what would Harlequins be looking to do now? Are they... If you were the captain, would you be saying play down in the 22, control that area, or would you say, look, let's play from here?
We haven't had a huge amount of ball, but I'd be looking to get into their 22 for sure. They haven't spent a lot of time there.
Let's ask a man who should know the answer to that question. Nick Evans, part of the Harlequins coaching setup. Nick.
It goes to show I've taught Ugo all he knows with that tactical advice there, so well done, Ugs. Yeah, look, we need to play a little bit more in their half, but the big thing for us is discipline. Look, you can see what's going to happen. We give away penalties, we're going to turn our backs, we're going to have a line out in our 22, and they're going to maul us. So that's a big thing for us. Defensively, we've been good, but discipline is going to be the key. Play in the right areas, and if we can just hold on, but it's sustain momentum with ball in hand, we'll look dangerous, we'll create things.
We've been speaking a lot, Nick, about the defensive system that Paul Gastard has introduced, and certainly he seemed to be shutting down the space for the Chiefs very effectively in the first quarter.
Yeah, no, they've worked really hard, mate, on our line speed and getting up and staying square, and it's all about desire. It's what he talks about, getting up. You've got to want to defend, you've got to love to defend. So look, early on it's been good. Discipline-wise, we've just got to make sure that we're wider than white. We can't give them opportunities to kick into our 22 because we know what's going to come.
Good stuff. Thanks, Nick.
No worries, boys.
Thanks, Dave.
I really like the fact that Ian Tempest just gave it as a knock-on. We've seen loads of these given as yellow cards or penalties or whatnot, but there's just a true understanding from what Alex Cuff was trying to do. That left arm's a little bit lazy, but he's just trying to wrap up that tackle, and he knocks it on. It's a good, intelligent referee. There's nothing more than a knock-on, and Harlequins get another scrum.
Crouch!
We've seen a few over the last series, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. I love the wingers union.
Oh, mate. Vinny LaRue. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, there's been a lot of it about.
Oh, sorry, Nick.
It's getting hard for your trade, that's for sure. Saili, straight and true, and a good tackle made by Simmons, but it's there now for Quins. Lang, little show, and he's off over the 10-metre line. Kerr, Ibitoye. Merrick showed up strong in the first 25 minutes or so. Flat this time for Ward. Bustling his way forwards. He's made an important couple of metres. Kerr switches the point of attack again. Clifford. Kvesic removed. Brown, Ibitoye. Onwards from Lang. He did really well there. This is Earl. Strong tackle made by Dolman. Chisholm. Quins growing in confidence here, seemingly, with every phase. Marler. Lang. Then that short ball, this time for Marchant. Wards. Saili. Armand there waiting for him. Brown.
you can really see how this game's been played in between the two 15s, because both sides are really trying to get up on those outside channels. But what that means is clearly the game's a bit more condensed, and it becomes that much more of a back row and a ruck battle in terms of momentum and resource and ball.
Dave Ward half through there for a minute. Here's Marler. Still in possession, Quinn still threatening the inside ball. That was a nice one. Earl is onto it.
Advantage, not rolling away.
And now with the penalty advantage. Dombrandt pops it onwards. Clifford. White shirt scrambling now. And the ball is loose, so back we go.
Harlequins are really showing some creativity in their attack. This all stems from an initial carry from the base of the scrum. Just look at the width of this pass. It goes straight to Saili, which means he's got a one-on-one with Simmons. He's always going to win that collision, gets through, and then they're already on the front foot. They're round the corner, they're in and playing, and once they get an opportunity, some great play from Dave Ward off the floor. Looks to present, looks to offload, it's not on, they overrun, but instead of allowing Exeter to come in and compete, he's playing off the floor to Mike Brown, running around the corner.
Quinn's making headway tonight on the carry, but they've got an opportunity here to come up with the full 5 or 7 rather than the 3. Ward is poised. Taken nicely by Glynn. Round the front they go, it's Chisholm! Chisholm scores for Quins! Chiefs caught napping at the front of the line out, and a Stoop rises to their feet.
I think a bit of Chiefs' own medicine, everyone expecting the drive. We've talked about the variation the Chiefs have shown this last couple of weeks. Everyone expecting Quins to drive straight. They set up really well, as though they're going to. A little bit of movement to the front, but Chisholm straight in on the ball, then he darts out. 2-on-1 on the outside. Nick White doesn't commit, worried about the hooker. Dave Ward stays wide, Nick White gets held, doesn't put a big enough shot in. And Chisholm has the power to power his way over the line. It's been a good 5 minutes for Harlequins.
Certainly was. It was a bold call to go to the corner, but his first try of the season for the Burnley manager, Sean Dyche lookalike.
Sean Dyche lookalike and captain for the night. Well, we had to take a second look at that. He knew it was tight. And the post intervenes yet again. 8 points to 5 though. And Gustav perhaps a little bit happy. He is a dead ringer.
About half the age, unfortunately.
Something of a platform from which to build for the home side here tonight. Taken well by Dombrandt.
Leave him now, leave him! Leave him!
Clifford into Lees. James Lang. Picking out Simmons and Dolman. Slipped on that centre spot, didn't he, where the grass is much, much thinner, and as a result, all the pressure piles on, and Harlequins are like rabid dogs at the moment. They're scrapping for everything on the ground.
They certainly are, and they're turning poor kicks into pretty decent ones. I've got to say, Lang got away with that kick. It wasn't his best one, but the chase, the energy was so aggressive. Keep talking about this Harlequins mindset, their defence, and we've seen plenty of examples of that so far into the opening 31 minutes. Jack Clifford making that bad kick a decent one, and they get an opportunity to try and find some turf in Exeter's half. And this is what I mean. One slip from Dolman and they're relentless here. Obviously brings them into the game. Chisholm follows up Saili, and Clifford gets their head over the ball. And we know how tough it is to move anyone as soon as you latch on. And Clifford, perfect body position, easy penalty.
Back within range, just outside the 22. It's Clifford who rises from the tail. Kerr. Those quick feet. Saili. More metres stolen. Kerr hurdling over Mitch Lees. This is Kyle Sinclair trucking it up. Great power onto the ball from Dombrandt. What a line that was from the blind side. Tremendous impetus and momentum, but the ball dislodged. And O'Flaherty, where's he heading to? Quick transfer from Chiefs. It's Cuthbert on the outside.
That's advantage over.
It's bold from their try line and back in possession. Hell of a line from Dombrandt, but it came to nothing. Ewers. Nick White. Still in field. Brown through the first defender. Quickly whisked away. Wards for Ivitoye. This is when Quins are at their best. Kerr goes wide. Marchant straightening nicely. Really good tackle from Kovacic. Had to make that one. It's Dombrandt again on a sharp line. To within 6 metres. Wards. Quins with their tails up. Kerr to the short side, and there's no one outside Dombrandt.
Someone in the crowd was calling for it. What a shame for Harlequins, because the build-up play is superb, and he was right at the heart of it. 2 massive carries, but not just him running on his own, which stresses the defenders. They don't know who to mark. 2 players running down the same channel. You give it to the biggest bloke who runs over your 10. Really good tackle from Simmons. Great defence from the Chiefs. And then he backs it up later on with another powerful carry.
Everyone's getting really excited here about Harlequins, and they're offloading and hardline running, but the reality is 2 visits into the 22 and they've coughed the ball up twice within about 2 or 3 minutes, and that's really going to frustrate Paul Gustard, because for all the enthusiasm in defence and the work rate at the breakdown, is those moments where you've just got to show a bit of composure, either steady your feet, respect the line speed, and just get those details right. You're playing one of the best teams in the country, and you're not going to have loads of opportunities, so you've got to convert that territory possession into points. But good defence from Exeter.
Some good experience from the Chiefs as well. There's Yandel, who just needed a bit of treatment there, just to allow his players to regather. They're on the ropes a little bit. They've defended well, but now they've got to 100% make sure they get out of this coffin corner. Difficult place to escape from. Scrum half on the side, but you want to be attacking. And they get the easy out, the easiest out possible, and that will kill Paul Gustard.
3, clear Kerrang.
Well, it's Kyle Sinclair who's been singled out, and it allows that pressure valve to be released by Simmons' clearance.
You see what it's done to the Stoop. All that excitement, all that energy just been left because of a knock-on, then a penalty. Exeter on the ball now. Watch them try to sap the energy out of the players and the stadium by going to a line-out drive, no doubt.
Yeah, Kovacic stood at scrum half ready to bind in. Quins can't afford to give away another penalty here.
Good work from one hand by Don Armand. Kovacic tidies up, but he's lost the ball. It's been stripped in contact.
No offside, open play.
Kerr has it. Dombrandt. Saili. Marchant. The footwork is good, but so too the tackling at the moment. No look pass from Kerr to Brown. Saili fizzing around the place. Former All Black remembers Francis Saili, twice capped by New Zealand. Lang really flat for Dombrandt again, and now he's working the feet. What a few minutes Alex Dombrandt has had. Dug through by Brown, it's a little too far, and it's gathered in brilliantly by Simmons, but that is a monster. It's a sink special. Just levelled. Absolutely levelled. To his great credit, straight back to his feet, Joe Simmons.
Funny enough, he's sitting in the pocket now.
Shicky wants his mummy's pocket.
Don, arms down, Don, leave Dave. No, it's not.
White, who doesn't currently need his mummy. Abitoye.
Jeez, fellas, don't push me out.
Marler. It's Kerr. Trademark Danny Kerr. The legs are still pumping towards the 22, looking for that support runner. And Chisholm just wasn't quite there.
Knock-on's first defence for me. We then got players off their
There's
feet.
moments again,
Scrum knock-on.
making breaks, looking so threatening, ball in hand. And you can see the stress, how frustrated the coaches are. It's this is trademark Danny Kerr. Anyone who's going to be loose in around the guard. I was expecting a chip, no look pass, turn no one, and they cough the ball up once again.
Simmons just got his head in the wrong position there. Might need to have a look at that.
Well, he's been in the wars.
Doesn't he just?
My goodness. Let's have another look at this Sinclair tackle.
It was decent, wasn't it? Oh my God, this is it. He thinks he's in the clear. Carl Sinclair's folding him up like a warm tortilla. But fair play.
You've been working on your similes, haven't
Do
you?
you reckon?
It's a very West London one, that, wasn't it?
Is there quinoa in the tortilla?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So Simmons is okay. Stinson, of course, lying in wait on the bench. Simmons, who, amazingly enough, has only lost one Premiership match, and it was the Premiership final last May. Of all the other games he's played, this is 23rd, I believe, 22nd appearance in the Premiership tonight. He hasn't lost any others other than that final.
Tell you what, he's brave. He is a brave player, brave defender. We've seen Saïla go at him. He doesn't shirk it.
Side will be going at him now, 100% after this. I'll be just looking at Simmons and saying, right, you are a tough kid. But what are you like at managing a game, making 15
Your man
tackles
is
a
clearly
game?
on the mark, though, okay? So you want more space, stay off the mark.
Siley, he'll be all over this. Got a lovely left foot step, offload. He wanted to get right at him.
Thank you.
He's
Let
a
him find the
tough
space,
little
give him
nugget.
space, okay?
Joe Simmons, of course, he spent much of his childhood wrestling with his brother in the garden, so he knows what it's all about. He knows how to handle himself.
That was a tough boy.
Bind! Set!
Straight out of the back, Kerr to Saïli, sizing up Simmons, asking the question, releasing Brown, and here is Earl into the corner! And on the stroke of half-time, Harlequins strike.
Oh, it's a brilliant try. Saïli does attack down Simmons' channel, and although he doesn't beat him, he forces the outside defender to step in and assist. And as soon as that happens, Brown's released. Just watch. Outside Simmons, Saïli gets the ball. Whitten steps in, and the ball goes behind his back to Brown. Offloads, perfect timing. And then it's all about just keeping the legs pumping through the contact and finding a way to the line.
Good finish from Nathan Earl too. Couple of cover defenders racing across. Nick Evans is happy. Just a couple of claps from Paul Gustard. He knows there's a long way to go tonight, but they've made a great start. That's wide from Lang. And a half-time whistle, with Harlequins leading by 13 points to 5 against the Exeter Chiefs, hitherto unbeaten in the Gallagher Premiership this season. It is finely balanced still, but Chisholm and Earl have given Quins hope. Half-time, Harlequins 13, Exeter 5.
Simmons the man at the moment. Garrett Steenson on the bench. Will he make a bit of a difference later on? Let's find out. Currently, though, the score is 13-5. Ali Eakin, all yours.
Well, a couple of things to keep you up to date with. The first is that Sam Hill has had 8 stitches, no less, in his left eyebrow. Patched up and ready to go for this second half. And it's also probably worth mentioning that Exeter were 19 points to 12 down at half-time against Bristol, ended up winning the game. Quins have squandered half-time leads on a couple of occasions in this Gallagher Premiership season already, so very much in the balance still as the ball is taken in here by Ben Glynn, who was a late arrival into the starting 15 tonight. And that's gone forward seemingly from Sinclair.
That's a bit of a disaster for Harlequins, because you know what Exeter will have been saying at half-time. They will have said, look, let's start big, let's control things, opportunity there to clear their lines, and they gift Exeter a scrum, really good attacking position, not far out of the red zone, where Exeter want to spend multiple phases, put big pressure on this Harlequins defence.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Sinclair having to put that straight behind him now as the ball is fed in for Chiefs possession. White with options.
Down too long.
No changes to the Harlequin lineup in this second half. Alex Dombrand enjoying himself on the blindside flank tonight.
So you stay long, it helps you stay putting up not that much territory.
2 or 3 fabulous runs. Very hard, very straight, very fast.
We know how powerful and strong he is, but it's the lines he's cut as well to maximise that. Blindsiding the defenders so that they only can get an arm tackle on him. He always was going to win the collision then.
Control by Kovacic, but assistance from the touchline. And they weren't happy with the way Greg Holmes was operating on the Exeter tight head.
And Joe Marler getting his front row colleague Carl Sinclair out of trouble after he spilt the ball. Wins his team the penalty, and we'll get the resulting line out just about halfway line.
Take the line, fellas. Take the line.
Ends up Holmes flat on his stomach. Marler paints a better picture.
Again, Glynn with line-out possession. Taken over halfway by Dombrand. This is Marler. Lang for Marchant. Slow ball. Dolman, Ibitoye bearing down on him at high speed. He's done very well, Ibitoye. Really good chase. Dolman feeds it back. Dave Dennis.
Inside!
Mike Brown. Hit by Cuthbert.
See Cuthbert's tackle technique. He's done it a couple of times now because he's so much taller than most of the other backs. He lifts them off their feet. It means they've got no purchase, and then he can run them backwards.
Ben Glynn, no attempt really to stay on the feet, but over the top of the ball, and Marler is carrying again. Lang. Half a yard in there, and some sharp footwork from James Lang. Lovely offload as well. Another huge tackle, this time from Ewers. Ben Glynn was flattened on the angle as he cut back. Chisholm. Lang. Glynn. Saili, oh, how well has he done? Defenders all around him. Sinclair feeds it back. Nathan just overrun that.
Oh, great feat by Saili under pressure from that umbrella defence, but I talked about Cuthbert lifting men off his feet to make the tackle. This is like something from WWE. Off the top ropes, Dave Ewers reads the play really well, can see the offload unfurling. Here it comes. Bang.
Proper rib tickler from Dave Ewers, a try in each of his last 3 appearances here at the Stoop. They're blessed with some options in that back row. Exeter. Sam Simmons, of course, the chief absentee at the moment, nursing his ACL injury. Here, free kick.
Standing up. Scrum again. Standing up last minute. Scrum again. Crouch! Bind! Set! Okay, Nick!
Cuthbert lurking in behind here. Sam Hill sets off. There's Simmons. Dolman. O'Flaherty. Oh, tremendous acceleration.
Play on!
The ball's been lost and Marchant has it. So much that was good about that from Rob Baxter's men, but inaccuracy once the ball had hit the deck, and Lang is assessing some options here, and that's loose over the top of Ivitoye.
Still alive.
Well, unfortunately,
Time off.
Apologies for the language you may have picked up.
Time off. Yeah. Captain, please. No. Captain. Here we come.
And Tempest calling over James Chisholm.
Yeah, stands off. This has been a really good game of rugby up to 47 minutes. Yeah. I feel there's a bit of niggle coming into the match with players holding each other, not preventing the quick line-outs. Yeah. I'm going to give you time to have a word, okay? If players don't sort it, I'm going to go to sanction, okay? So just have a word with your players. I don't really want to go there because it's been a really good match. However, I will do, so please speak to the players.
So the option of the quick line out there was quickly snuffed out. There might be 1 or 2 words in that Quinn's back division questioning the option from James Lang, but the ambition and the adventure was strong.
I'll get your numbers. Thanks, Jack. How
Big
many
moment
fellas?
now. We've talked up the Harlequins defence. It's been good, but this is absolutely prime Exeter ball. Exactly what they worked so hard to get.
Familiar pose here, the Chiefs. Armand snaffles it, Kvesic pops it. Simmons carries it up. That wasn't entirely as it had been planned.
It's a freebie for the Chiefs.
Across the line.
And the penalty.
Across the line, affecting the setup. Number 4. Number 4. See me. Across the line, number 4.
Although the penalty goes against Glynn. It's more as lifters throwing him across, trying to disrupt the setup of the drive on Armand.
Same picture again, mate. Okay?
And now the pressure ramps up even more on their own line. The referee watching for the legality of the challenge.
This, the Chiefs' strike zone. So comfortable here normally. The slight delay on the line out from Yendall, but it's efficient and effective. And the rumble is promising from Exeter. Quins have managed to splinter it.
Tackle, come off!
Almonds
He's a tackle, he's broken off.
over the ball. Almond once again. The latches coming into play, trying to drive their man over the line.
Advantage offside, 6.
Penalty
Six
advantage
offside.
being played. The offside line breached.
New advantage, number 3 offside.
Whipped away by White and wide, but always with the advantage, always with the penalty. 2 separate offences in the middle of all of that.
Offside.
And Sinclair just straying, trying his best to defend that line.
You have to kick the offside penalty. Okay, I haven't seen it myself.
So we're back where we started.
In this area of the park, okay, 2 quick advantages.
Referee just warning the Harlequins forwards
On the
about
line.
that double penalty. Competition was good. They ended up with players on the wrong side, but stayed in there, didn't change their bind. Nick White trying to disturb them by banging them on the back, telling them they've got to move. They don't have to move, as long as they don't change their bind.
100% so far tonight. Armand, the go-to man. White shirts gathered all around. Cuthbert is in amongst it. Another advantage. They're over the line. And the try looks to have been scored. Something of the inevitable about the way that was going to end up. You give them a handful of shots from that sort of range. That's their routines. Invariably, they come away with the try.
It's relentless, isn't it? Because it wasn't even, they wouldn't put that down as a really good setup. But they've got so much belief and confidence, they don't panic. A little bit high at the beginning, they get twisted early, but they don't panic, they stay in there, they transfer the ball. Nick White adding his weight, disturbing Joe Marler so he can't get round. And then once they lose those 3 bodies, 4 bodies from a Harlequins perspective on the floor, there's only going to be one outcome. Glynn too high, he's not going to be able to do anything there to affect the try. Danny Kerr can't get underneath.
We've got a replay of that throw in.
So right back in the equation now. Exeter with a conversion to come from Joe Simmons. Beautifully done from Simmons.
They find a way to get it done, don't they? Back in the game. The kick's better. But it's this point here as Harlequins lose all their bodies and they've got no one in a decent pushing position. Only Clifford down low.
Lang goes long. Witten backpedaling. Lang again. Chasing his own kick. Dolman into the air. Ibitoye did well. Lang has it. Important.
That should be a penalty.
There it is. Clear instructions from Ian Tempest to Makavesic.
This is a silly penalty to be given away. Exeter doing so well and converting that opportunity into a try. Good kick chase there from Lang, followed up by Ibitoye. And Kavesic, we know how good he is at a breakdown, but tactically, not a good decision.
He gets away with it initially. He slows it down, but the fact that he stays in there, probably a little tap back. They're picking up, but just watch it. Has a little play at it. There's no way he's supporting his body weight on his feet there. And then he continues in on the ball.
Well, they've turned down the option of 3 points as we see Ollie Atkins on the field. Replacing Dave Dennis at lock. Quins need points now, having taken this decision. having spurned the option of the kick.
Danny Wands!
Not going anywhere in a great hurry. A little nudge before Kerr breaks away. Saili, Lang. Back against the grain, still on his feet. And the turnover is brilliant from Cuthbert. And Cuthbert's away. Fine tackle made.
That's excellent.
By Merrick.
Sorry, Ali, that's excellent play from Cuthbert. That line speed forced Harlequins back into that midfield where their defenders were coming in. And just like any good blindside winger, just following up, getting his hands on the ball and turning defence into attack.
White for Cuthbert to chase. Brown taken.
Great tackle. Had a good game, Cuthbert, hasn't he?
Looked very bright. Quins trapped in their own half again.
Dave, stop! Dave! Dave! Thanks, mate, good.
Simmons. Tackled well by Ibitoye. Here's Atkins. Good punch for his first carry.
It's your man. It's White slowing that down.
White's having a hard time extricating that. Quins fans getting restless and impatient. Brown racing in at high speed, nowhere to go.
It's a good kick from White, but just look at this. I mentioned before about Simmons's kick when he went to the corner, how much distance he got and how close he got it to the line. That's too far away, and as a result Harlequins actually got the drive moving forward. They probably shifted it 5 metres forward, but they started 10 metres out and they end up getting turned over. If you go to the corner and shun points, you have to be accurate with what you're doing.
Gareth Steenson on. Joe Simmons makes way. Nick White. Low and scudding, and from well beyond the 22. That's a fairly basic error for a man of his experience.
Just given plenty of time, really good platform. Poor execution, it happens. But in a moment where they could have really cleared their lines and got back into Harlequins 22.
Line-out ball is there for Quins, and a fine line from Saili. Steenson.
That's going on Steenson's highlight reel,
He's
isn't it?
loving that, isn't he?
Big shot.
Manning the barricades again. Marler being held up for a brief moment by Armand. Marchant. Glynn.
Not now, no!
To the short side, Brown. Digs it through. Earl gathers. Beautifully done. Nathan Earl is away, looking for his seconds. Scoring. Might require a check.
Oh, it's brilliant from Brown.
Are you happy he's not in front of the
Is he onside?
Okay, so I may walk the side if you're okay.
Well, we don't need to look. Referee's assistant very happy. It's amazing pace from O'Flaherty to get back. But Earl controlled, he doesn't get put off. And the delivery of Brown. The line speed from Exeter's been really good. And Brown taking full advantage. Just dropping it behind, no one in behind him.
Yeah, correct, well played.
Nearly gets there, doesn't he? Amazing pace. But Earl, razor sharp with his finishing tonight.
Beautifully weighted kick from Mike Brown, that Ugo. Pin perfect.
Still takes some finishing, picks it up off his toes and then to accelerate away. Very good, precise kicking and finishing.
Fine kick from James Lang. 20 points to 12. Harlequins restore their 8-point buffer as we head towards the final quarter.
It's got a bit narrow in defence. Exeter here. As a result, O'Flaherty, who probably should have been back in the line waiting for that kick, feels that he has to go up to Mark Earl. Brown spots it, puts it in behind him.
So another swing of the pendulum. Ibitoye gathers the restart. A little high in the tackle from Yendall. Clifford. Oli Devoto on for Sam Hill in the Exeter midfield. Dolman fielding, taking it nicely. Holmes.
No! Second man.
White pulls it right back to Voto. Classic onwards to Ewers. Shot down low by Marler. Steenson. Back infield, Dolman searching for those holes in and around the breakdown. Atkins. Steenson. This is O'Flaherty. Witten. Back inside the 22. Exeter. Atkins again. Swallowed up by Glynn. Harlequins give up the penalty.
Joe, it's not against you. It's the hands that's then coming into play back.
Yeah, Marlow was doing his level best to make sure that he wasn't playing the ball.
Hands coming in
I expect the Chiefs to go to the corner here, but I just wonder whether they'll...
Get off your feet.
7 points isn't enough. I wonder whether they'll take the 3 when they're on offer. This might change the decision-making process. Referee marches it forward 10 metres. It goes into the corner.
Back 10, please. That happens again, it's probably more than an advancement.
So there's a gentle warning
Time off.
for Harlequins from Ian Tempest.
4 and 14.
Another replacement
Exeter 8.
in Tom Lauday.
4 and 14, yeah?
So Lauday for Kovacic.
On your side.
Now we have Matt Luamanu and Caden Murley coming on for Harlequins as well. Ibitoye making way on the wing for Murley, who was so sharp last week at Six Ways. It's through the fingertips of Armand, and it's there for Clifford. And Harlequins breathe again.
He's placing the ball into him. Play it now. Use the ball.
Kerr. Dolman. O'Flaherty. Looked bright in a few little touches he's had tonight, O'Flaherty. Atkins, a little isolated, could do with some support. Ewers arrives, but strong work over the ball there from Marler. The penalty's gone Exeter's way, though.
It's a ruck formed, isn't it? And there could be trouble here. Sinclair. I think he actually wants to speak to the captain.
But the clear call was hands on the floor. If this happens again, it will be a yellow card, or worse if he's swearing, okay? It's now an advancement to 10 for the second time. If it happens again, a player will be leaving the field of play.
Maybe Brown, actually.
10 metres.
Falsely accused Carl Sinclair. I thought he was pointing at him. Mike Brown, not happy with the decision. The referee's right, the ruck is formed. 2 players from either side, 1 from either side over the ball. He doesn't play, he doesn't latch onto the ball immediately. It's only after he's hung in there for a couple of seconds that his hands go down.
There's the penalty count stacking up against Quins. And now it's Exeter's turn to dig it into the corner rather than have a crack at the post with 18.5 minutes left to play. Backing their set-piece routine. Yendall. Picking out Lees. Driven on hard up the middle. Brilliant bit of work. It's Devoto. Has he grounded that?
The question's all important, isn't it? Has the referee seen enough to ask?
I've seen a grounding. I'm going to check any reason.
Proper scramble down there.
So it's any reason. So we have to see conclusive proof that it's not a try. The referee asking.
I've seen the grounding. I just want to make sure he hasn't lost as he goes over. Let's get him treated.
The fog will clear in a minute.
Listen to me. I've seen a grounding. I'm now going to go to the TMO. Check any reason I cannot award the try.
Okay, so there's 2 balls on the pitch.
Yeah. Just cover him down the track.
So the TMO tonight's Keith Lewis.
There's another ball thrown into the pitch.
By who?
I don't know. I don't believe it affected anybody stopping to play the game.
Okay, so I'm going to just have a quick look at this. Just so, Keith, can we just go back to the line out just to make sure what's happening there? And then my question for the grounding would be any reason I cannot award a try, okay? So that's what we're asking.
Okay, so hang on a sec, Tempo. Just to be clear, you want me to see what happened with that second ball?
Yeah, I do, please, mate.
Okay, stand
I
by.
want to see how it's entered the field and if it's had any effect on the play.
Right, so
And
the
then we're
second
gonna
ball
go, any reason
It's
I cannot
not-
award the
has
try.
arrived on the field at some point here.
That's not disturbing anyone.
Play
No one's
on.
noticed it. Play on.
Just to hold it there, please, Keith. Can we just go back?
Hang on, Tempo.
Okay, thanks, mate. Just go back to the start of the line now. I think it's actually a Quinn's ball boy, mate, so...
It's not, it's from the crowd, Tempo.
Okay, and can
The
we
ball
just have a look
clearly
at
comes from the crowd.
And does it have any effect we need to look at then?
There's no effect
Because we
on
don't
play.
think it has
No
any
one
effect and
notices.
it's in the field of play.
I agree.
So now we're just looking at any reason I can't award a try, please.
Okay, thanks, Tempo. Stand by.
So here's the grounding. What a run it was from Ollie Devoto. He had plenty of power in behind him.
So we need clear evidence that the initial... So we've almost got to see the hand under the ball on the initial landing.
Ian Tempest was content that he saw a grounding.
On-field decision
Can we just
is
get players then,
try,
right?
so it has to be clear and obvious from the TMO for it to be
Check the
overturned.
ball. It's had no effect on play.
But it's on the field, is that right?
Well, we need to ask how it's ended up there.
Okay.
And it's actually on the field of play. Brief teams had no effect. We're now looking at grounding.
It looks like there's hands under the ball,
Subjective it does.
but it has to be clear and obvious.
Okay, Ian, those are all the angles.
Yeah.
If you have grounding, we lose sight. So we lose sight of the ball. So I've got no reason. So you may award the try.
Try Exeter. Try Devoto. Once again, this argument is a live one here at the Stoop tonight. Simple conversion will put Chiefs back within 1, and it is game on.
People are booing here, but let's face it, in terms of the process of how the law is applied, it was absolutely perfect. It was an on-field try, so it had to be clear and obvious. For me, I thought I could see hands under that ball, but it's not clear and obvious, and therefore Ian Tempest, his decision, he has the autonomy, try to Exeter Chiefs, game on.
Ollie Devoto fresh off the bench and straight on to the score sheet. Dolman wriggling clear of the 22.
It's a hell of a carry from Devoto, wasn't it? We lose sight of that with the fact that the drama of going to the TMO, but what a huge impact.
But we know in the final quarter, Exeter Chiefs have scored more points, more tries than any other team in the Premiership and conceded the fewest. So this is perfectly set up to be a nail-biting finish.
Kerr feeds Earl. Brace of tries for him tonight, one either side of half-time. Merrick. We'll hear from the Exeter director of rugby in a moment or two as Caden Murley carries it up, and Danny Kerr makes the most of that. Ian Tempest not having any of it. On goes Merrick and Chisholm. Kerr, Smith on for Lang. Nathan Earl again busy. Saili. Perfect presentation. Brown is there. Wrapped up by Atkins. Danny Kerr again looking for the penalty.
Tempest is not buying anything today.
He's not, but he's actually, in trying to punish Danny Kerr for being petulant, he's actually missing things that are clear penalties.
Here's Ward. Marcus Smith for Luamanu. Smith again. Murley. Merrick. Slithering free of the clutches of viewers. Smith again. Luamanu. 14th phase of possession here. Smith challenging the line. Kerr. Marchant. Chiefs tackling, having to be razor sharp at the moment. Danny Kerr's not happy about the treatment he's receiving.
Tackle, fellas!
Inside ball from Kerr this time. Picked up on the bounce. Very well retrieved in the end by Dave Ward. Smith looking for the grubber through, blocked by White, taken by Brown.
Got to say, for all the continuity that Harlequins have been having, 19 phase, they've been forced back, and that kick came about through Exeter's defensive pressure. No one's wanting to relent at the moment.
Smith, Don Brandt. Oh, that could have been an interesting one if he got that ball away a little quicker.
A little carry from Murley with all of that, though.
Lewis Boyce rumbles upfield. 23rd phase of possession here. Quins playing Exeter at their own game at the moment.
Brilliant ball presentation from Mike Brown. Stumbled, but still managed to get quick ball. Danny Kerr is going to be taking a few deep breaths now, because he will feel that a lot of decisions there could have gone against Exeter, and it was all directed around his ability to clear the ball away from the breakdown.
So a chance of points here for Marcus Smith, newly on the field.
Well, the first one is the one that upsets the referee. He throws it into the man, but the man is stopping his pass. He wants to play that directly off the floor. So that is a penalty, but he's been a bit petulant, thrown it in, so the referee thinks I'll teach him a lesson. There, you cannot roll into the scrum half, because it puts the scrum off. Anything that's putting the scrum half off is a penalty. But because of throwing the ball into Ewers' face, I think the referee just had it in his mind, right, he's trying to con a penalty out of me, and he doesn't give things that are penalties.
Big kick from Marcus Smith. So important, given the tight confines in which this match is being played out. Harlequins now leading by 23 points to 19. Let's have a word with Rob Baxter, who's the Exeter Chiefs director of rugby, of course. Rob, where's the balance of power here? Can he pull this out like he did against Bristol?
Well, we'll keep working at it. That's the one thing we know we'll do. The interesting thing in a lot of ways is just what I said before the game, is that what we've learned to do with the squad is make ourselves very hard to beat. Is probably some of the things we'll be most frustrated with come the end of this game, and we'll have to talk about those things whether we win or lose, because every time we've kind of got ourselves back into the position we want to be in, we've managed to find a way to get ourselves kind of back under pressure. And so, you know, those things are there, and we'll just have to keep working and keep trying to get better. But it's a very good game of rugby. Kind of Harlequins are working very hard, to be fair, to get under our skin. So we're having to deal with that as well. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of how you have to try and win these games and play and start the challenges you've got to come through.
Rob, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Onto the field is Marcus Street. With tight head, it's there for White and Dolman. And now for Cuthbert. Well tackled by Murley. Ewers. Harlequins' defence has been impressive tonight.
It has been impressive, but it's just got to be coupled with good defence. Every single penalty that Harlequins have given away in the second half, they don't need to defend anymore.
Well, a terrific burst, I think, from Dombrandt again, and the ball is hacked forwards. Cuthbert trotting back. Dolman's got a little bit more pace about him. Smith arriving.
Oh, heartbreaker for Danny Kerr. The decision's good. Cuthbert really blowing. Can't turn and get back, but he just can't take enough of the sting off the kick. It's a turnover. Really good carry from Dombrandt. And then absolutely on. No one at home. Dolman going the other way.
Time off.
Just kicks on, doesn't it?
Well, the temperature's just gone up a little bit, hasn't it, in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Elvis Tyone on for Jack Yendall. Tongan international. Lewis Boyce receiving some treatment. He's back up on his feet. Sent very high by Gareth Steenson. Marchant leaves it for Chisholm, who's broken free. We know he's got tremendous pace, the number 8. Held up in the tackle and very well dealt with in the end. Kerr looking for the grubber. It works so beautifully between Brown and Earl not so long ago. Quickly taken by Exeter. Steenson gives that everything he's got. Brown seeking out the options. Driven to the ground by Ewers. Whipped away by Saili. Lovely inside ball from Smith.
No!
Clifford. Into the last 10 minutes. Marcus Smith again. Looking to catch the defence. In behind the wing and inside the 22. Steenson drops on it.
Never on ball. Never on ball.
A little bit of extra time to release, it would seem to me. That's what the crowd are exercised by.
Did really well, though, Steenson, to get on the floor and not be tackled into touch.
Again, well claimed by Brown, but the follow-up tackle is a good one from O'Flaherty.
Well, this is the area where Harlequins have got to be so bright in terms of how they use their energy, going through the face as well as getting those kick chases. Just trying to say it earlier, but every penalty Harlequins concede has been kicked into their 22, and we know the danger that they have, so game management is going to be all important.
Well, Smith has found Dolman. Dolman likes the sight of what's in front of him, up to the 10-metre line. Real test of big game nerve here tonight for Exeter. Devoto has looked lively. One excellent try already. Dolman. Tyone. Ball dislodged. Kerr has it. Marchant. Smith. Saili. Little glimmer of light there for a moment, but the door slammed shut. Smith again looking for that corner. And a miscued clearance kick. Steenson has found the ball eaten up by Brown. Carried on deep inside the 22 now by Clifford.
Tom Brandt screaming for it out wide.
Smith. Luamanu. Saili, they got numbers here, Quins. Nicely done, Caden Murley. 2 offloads out of the back door, and this is Don Brandt. Don Brandt for the try line. Stopped just shy, seemingly.
Wow. Have a breath. Amazing play out wide. Saili with the offload. Murley with the carry and then able to get the ball free as well. And then Don Brandt, he's been doing it all game. The leg drive. Nearly getting there. Lovely hand. Saili attracts defenders, puts it out the back door. Murley has to work hard for his offload. And then how close was this? Just can't get that final reach.
Lovely handling. So nearly a sensational score for the flanker with white shirts all around him. It was desperation time for the Exeter Chiefs. Quins fans know they are close. They are very, very close to what would be a hugely significant win for them, you feel.
Yeah, absolutely, but you've got to look at the amount of numbers that Harlequins have got. It's about a 7-on-3, and how they're not executing. They got there almost eventually, but fair play to Exeter staying in the fight. They're giving up yards, but that kind of desperation on your goal line, that's what wins you matches. But they're not out of the clear right yet. Massive scrum now.
Just watching Saili and Smith eyeing up Steenson, seeing if they can create some sort of movement to move to Voto, have a one-on-one.
Under pressure at scrum time, it's Caden Murley who has the ball, and look how strong he is. Made it to within 5 metres.
Very bright since coming on.
Bearing down here, Quins. Care. The short pop. Don Brandt set back on his heels. It's gone forwards from Harlequins. Exeter can breathe again.
Tell you what, Exeter's last 2 defensive sets, in terms of desperation, technically at times all over the place, but in terms of that heart, that fight, held up over the try line. Massive shot there from Ian Whitton onto Jack Clifford to win the ball back. All they've got to do now is get this ball off the pitch so everyone here at the Stoop can take a breath.
And it lies with Nick White to do just that. A really good clearance taken quickly by Harlequins, who sensing that their moment is now, if it is to be at all. To the short side, launching Luamanu. Swainston pops it on its way. This is Boyce. Chisholm, Kerr, Smith, massaging the defences nicely. Saili nearly through. Cuthbert did well. And it's there now, dug through, and this should be a nice, easy little bounce for Marchant. Harlequins have their bonus point try, and they might just have the victory now.
Oh, what a try. And it's all come from everyone doing the right things. Just watch the Saili carry here. He gets put through, but watch what he does on the floor to take Cuthbert out. Cuthbert thinks he can attack it, but he just rolls. That creates quick ball. The little dab through, all the defenders up in the front line, and there's only going to be one winner. Just watch him on the floor here. He just rolls to take Cuthbert out. Presents it perfectly. Danny Kerr, all the time in the world to pick his spot. Sees Marchant. Brilliant finish. Brilliant bonus point score for the Quins.
It's made to look simple, you're absolutely right there. It's not only Marcus Smith, his timing of his pass, Saili on the floor, but then Smith's effort on effort to then take that clear out of Alex Cuthbert, ball in behind. It is very simple in the end. But it's all been built on pressure. The fact that they've kept Exeter in their half and managed the area from 50, 60 metres away from their goal line so well has allowed them this opportunity.
slide on by, but 28 points to 19 with just 3 minutes remaining against the league leaders. Bonus point in the bag. Quins profiting yet again from that little jab through, which has worked nicely for them tonight. They're very close. Very, very close indeed. Exeter, by the way, only kept pointless in the Premiership 3 times since December 2014. Saracens on 2 occasions and Newcastle last January. It doesn't happen often. Usually they leave with something. At the moment, leaving with nothing. And Quins in possession, but it's far from done. A little bit of miscommunication between Cuthbert and Dolman. And Quins take full advantage. Whipped away by Saili. Swainston to Smith and the intercept. And there's Witten, running like a book. He's being chased down by Smith, but Witten has the gas. And Exeter, well, they got their bonus point now, and they're not done yet.
He got the bonus point in the bag, and yes, you've got to applaud ambition, but you've got to be accurate when you put a team that haven't been beaten away from home for 9 months. You've got your bonus point already. You've got to be sure, or you've got to play in the right areas of the field.
It's a 3-on-1. The ball over the top, it's on. It's easy to see now. We can see it from up here, 30 metres up. But Ian Witten, we speak about their blitzing defence. He's coming. He's not waiting for anyone. He gets in the eye line. And at those moments, you're putting pressure on the ball receiver. Sorry, the ball player itself. And Marcus Smith, as he pulls the trigger, throws it straight to Exeter. And with 1:15 to go, this game is far from over.
Well, less than a minute ago, Exeter had nothing. Now they got two. They got 2 bonus points, if nothing else. The try bonus and the losing bonus. But they will feel this is still within their compass. The victory is still a possibility. 5 points, still a possibility. Don't underestimate the belief that runs through this Exeter squad. Tayoni got to back themselves to go all the way from their own try line now.
You hear Danny Kerr just shouting to the guys, leave the rock alone. Doesn't want to be giving any silly penalties away. Offering Steenson an opportunity to hammer the ball up the pitch.
Devoto. Legs flying. And that's gone Quins' way. The knock-on. And Ian Tempest hands Harlequins the win with that decision.
Got a scrum to come.
You're not set either, fellas. You're not set either, sir.
One last set piece to execute. Exeter still full of determination, but this should be Harlequins' night. Secure the ball here, and their work is done. It's a clean hook. It's a messy old scrum, but the ball is away. And it is a famous win for Quins tonight. Exeter brought down to earth for the first time in the Premiership season. The league leaders fell, albeit with 2 bonus points to their name, but this